The change is a disaster. She's losing subs, she's losing views, the dislike ratio is out of control. This move is dumber than getting rid of Candace Owens. Daily Wire just made the worst decision of all time. After reaching almost 4 million subs in 2 years, they decided to just nuke the show by replacing America's conservative sweetheart with her own best friend who's the maid of honor at her wedding, who allegedly backstabbed her for a quick buck, but we'll talk about that later. First, I want to look through some of the channel's new numbers. So when she first started subbing in, the views were pretty typical. I mean, nobody knew what was really going on. They were just like, oh, maybe Brett wants to slow down a bit. You know, Reagan was a pretty good cover-up. She sounded like Brett did it the same way, and nobody really noticed. The comments were relatively positive. Like here, she has a 600K video, she has a 400K video. She was doing okay as Brett's stand-in. Once the news came out, all the videos she's done after basically nosediving in views each video she puts out. So this one did pretty decent because I bet you people couldn't just wait to see if Reagan touched on the subject, introduced herself or whatever, and I believe she introduced herself in this video. And then after that, I mean, it's just not looking too good for a channel that has 2 million subs. It gets even worse when you start to look at the dislikes. So there's a Chrome extension that allows you to check out each video's like to dislike ratio. I mean, it's insufferable. This is her latest video, 2.7 to 13K. Here's the video before that, 16K. I mean, her ratio is completely atrocious, which makes me wonder, I mean, is she seeing these numbers? I wonder if they're like maybe keeping her in a bubble and trying to keep her out of her comment section. If she's looking at some of these comments and the views, I hope she has tough skin because it's not looking too good. Who knows? Maybe she realized the situation she's in, that she backstabbed her friend, you know, was replaced, and the audience isn't going to just fall in line. About a week ago, the comment section had about 300K more subscribers than it does now. She's lost 290K subs every day, just 10K, 40K, 20K. She's losing subs by the tens of, or not her, because she's just a stand-in. The channel's losing subs by the tens of thousands. So speaking about the comment section, I think it'd be apropos if we took a look into the shit show that is her comment section. One guy saying it's ironic that the only reason I clicked on the latest comment section episode is to read the comment section. Please rename the channel to the comment section without Brett Cooper. Oh my God, 30-year-old trying to act like a college girl? Did they just Joe Biden Brett and give us Kamala? This is like stolen valor. Yeah, she literally took the channel with 5 million subs and said, it's mine now. Like, be yourself, don't be Brett. That's a big topic of conversation going on now. Apparently she was given lessons on how to basically be Brett's doppelganger with mannerisms and how she talks and inflections in her voice and tonality. There's a video, I don't know if you've seen it. If you haven't, I'll play it briefly so we can know a little bit more about the situation and what actually happened behind the scenes.
The Daily Wire's pushing Brett Cooper out, and so I go and look up her channel and I'm like, she's still producing videos though. What's going on? I started digging in and found my own source at right at the Daily Wire, and now I've had even more come and corroborate it since I reported on it. And it's not just that Daily Wire is pushing out Brett Cooper, it's actually that Brett Cooper is under one of these contracts that has her tied to secrecy and silence, because now that they're terminating her contract, their arbitration clauses are coming into play. So she is in a secret court of arbitration, not a public court, where she is under NDA and can't say anything about it while they spin whatever narrative they want about it. They're circulating around letters internally that are saying like, oh, Brett Cooper wants to leave, and that is not the case at all, apparently, according to everyone at the Daily Wire that I've spoken to. She had disagreements with Jeremy Boring over what happened with Candace probably, and certainly more disagreements in terms of like the culture there and what's going on, and is now getting pushed out. They are promoting her best friend, who was her maid of honor at her wedding. They offered her a contract that was so lucrative she couldn't refuse it. Yeah, her producer was her bridesmaid at her wedding this year, and they apparently allegedly gave her acting classes to help her imitate Brett's mannerisms.
It's just weird stuff. It's weird stuff because, you know, these guys, they talk about facts don't care about your feelings and the truth is important, and one side of the aisle is a bunch of liars and actors and paid actors with ulterior motives to push a certain narrative. That's their whole shtick of the network that they're trying to create. Undermining one of your best talents, sneaking behind your best talent to offer something to your talent's best friend, the same way without a hit, you put them in acting classes to copy the person's mannerism and basically create a clone, it diminishes the Daily Wire's sort of prestige and virtuousness. So you remember when I said that allegedly her friend was offered an amount that she couldn't refuse, so she went ahead and backstabbed Brett, which then led to Brett unfollowing her on Instagram. Brett's mom on Instagram actually liked a comment that sort of validated the idea this was like some malicious undertaking. This is what Brett's mom liked on Instagram.
On December 10th, 2024, only a few hours after Brett dropped her last video, Diane Cooper, Brett's mom, confirms the rumors on Reagan's latest Instagram post. The proof is here on the subreddit on the r/Brett Cooper. On Reagan's most recent post on Instagram, somebody commented, "No matter how many acting classes you take or watch Brett's old videos, you will never be Brett. It's sad that you took the money and snubbed your best friend. I hope the amount of money DW offered was worth your friendship with Brett. You lost a good one." Apparently, Diane Cooper, Brett Cooper's mom, liked that comment, sort of verifying that, yes, like she's a horrible friend and she threw away a really good friendship.
Yep. So that basically confirms it. It was an undertaking. This wasn't some mutual thing where Brett decided it was time for new pastures. They offered her friend a bunch of money. She took the money and said, forget Brett, this is my big opportunity. And now it's tanking. There's a bunch of smart, successful people that work at the Daily Wire. And to think that nobody thought literally just swapping faces with somebody that the audience has grown with and thinking that you can manufacture a copy of the person and that'll do good and people will be a-okay with it. Like, that's the biggest no-no in showbiz and entertainment. You don't just swap out a character and think nobody's gonna say anything, especially when that character was beloved. You remember what happened to Brian on Family Guy? Like, and they try to insert another dog. It's like the biggest no-no in show business. So with that being said, do you think Brett's new replacement, Reagan, was basically set up to fail? What do you think is next for Brett? She already has a channel almost at 500K subs with 0 videos. And do you think Daily Wire is at a downward trajectory after under a year getting rid of 2 of their top talents in the most scandalous way they possibly could? Let me know down below. Catch you on the next one.
I get around. What you mean you don't know? Check go. I get around.